One thing that I think is so important to share when we start our journey towards more consciousness or creating our dream life or rewriting subconscious beliefs, or just like when we make that decision of like, I want more in my life, and maybe we're pivoting or trying something new, or again, just like rewriting these past subconscious narratives. What I've at least been experiencing is just how uncomfortable the unknown is. And I think this is really important to talk about, because it's one thing to be like, okay, I'm gonna learn about rewriting my narratives and having different belief systems and reprogramming myself, and I'm gonna show up differently, and I'm gonna start acting and feeling and like raising my vibration, all of these things. It's one thing to like learn about this and talk about it and want it, but it's a whole nother journey to actually be in it. And I think what I'm at least realizing, because I've been going through this very intense period of like past versions of me falling away, almost like death and rebirth, like over and over and over again, like cycles of death and rebirth of my old self, old versions of myself, old patterns I used to like grip onto, even just, you know, things that used to keep me comfortable. Like I've been sharing a lot recently on how I'm really pivoting my message and what I share with the world on my social media and how I want to help people. It's all very different for me. But I know deep down, somewhere deep down in there, I know that this is my path. Like I know that what I previously used to speak on around, for example, food related things and more so nutrition, it doesn't resonate for me anymore. Like I don't relate specifically to that. It doesn't really get me excited anymore. It's not something that I want to talk about. So in this example that I'm using with myself, now that I'm stepping into sharing more around consciousness and confidence and really actually trying to shift my identity, it's hard. Like I've had a lot of days of self-doubt and fear and like, what am I doing? And like really stepping into the fog, not knowing what's next, having a lot of old narratives creep in around like, who am I to talk about these things? Who's gonna listen to me? Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Just like all these old narratives that I even remember back in the day when I was like more so focusing on like the wellness coaching, the nutrition, the fitness, all those things. Like I remember like when I first started, like those self-doubts came up, of course, because it was so new to me then. And now, like, because I've expanded my, you know, levels of fear around that, like I no longer really fear speaking about those things because I've just done it for so long. It's so comfortable for me. It doesn't feel hard to share those things, but it doesn't feel right. Like it doesn't feel aligned anymore. And so now that I'm pushing up against my edges, I'm pushing up against the fear, essentially, like I'm really leaning into the fear and like, oh my goodness, it's hard. But there is a part of me that knows like this is part of it. This is the way. And of course the unknown is going to be scary. Of course doing something new and different and wanting more for yourself is going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable and scary because you've never done it before. You've never been that version of yourself. You have to do things you've never done before in order to be in places you've never been, or be a version of yourself that you've never been. And I guess this is like partly me reaffirming that, because whoa, the last week I've just been going through so much of that, so much coming up, so much doubt and stories coming up just of how like maybe incapable I feel in this like area of things. And what I am trying to really step into and continue reminding myself of is that these things are coming up for a reason also. Like they need to be looked at, they need to be seen, they need to be given space. And I think in the past I probably never gave myself that opportunity. I never gave myself a chance to look at the fears that I'm having and lean into them and question them and also show them space. In the past and even now, like, I have such a strong inclination to like judge the fear and be really hard on myself and then get down on myself, and then it makes me not want to show up and not want to share and not want to step fully into this path that I'm on, which I'm just trying to be so aware of. Awareness is always like the first thing. So with that said, this is me reaffirming to myself, but also sharing for like, if you're also going through this period of you don't know what's next, your old life is falling away, your old identity is crumbling, let it crumble, let it get uncomfortable, let yourself step into the unknown, because I know for a fact that it is in the unknown that all possibilities exist. All possibilities exist in the unknown. And that is where we can really create from. That is where anything is possible. And in the uncertainty is actually where the miracles happen. It's where the gifts, the synchronicities, the flow, the receivership, like that is where it all happens. So as much as it's so sticky and hard, and it's really hard sometimes, like I have been struggling, but I wanted to share this and be vulnerable and lean into those edges and challenge them, because I know that this is the path that is going to lead me to where I desire to be. And it's through that fog, it's through not knowing what's next, that the exact right, aligned, and most abundant path will be presented to you. And it will all make sense, because every single thing that I've encountered or let go of or said goodbye to or released in my life, all the things that felt really hard to let go of, or like even the identity shifts that I've made that in the moment felt like, what am I doing? Like, this is so scary. Like, I don't know how to be this version of myself. It's always led me to exactly where I'm meant to be. And it's led me to this moment. So all we can do is trust that the universe has our back, and that it's all about divine timing, divine redirection, it's protection, and whatever is falling away, whatever doesn't align for you anymore, whatever doesn't resonate anymore, there's a reason for that. And if we can really hold ourselves to embodying what feels aligned, stepping into what feels most abundant and flows and gets our creative juices flowing and it excites us, like really being lit up by what excites us, like that courage is going to be what facilitates all of the miracles that we desire and the road that we want to be on. It's all going to make sense for us, I truly trust. So I'm curious to hear if you're going through something similar, so many deaths and rebirths, and just shifting identities, shifting your life, maybe stepping into something new. If you are doing that, I'm proud of you. We're in this together and we got this. And if this is something that you want to dive into deeper, what I am hosting is a free 3-day self-confidence mastery challenge where we step into all these things. We literally look at how to reprogram subconscious beliefs. Where is your energy going? How can you get out of your own way and trust yourself and connect back to yourself and live a life of true alignment and empowerment? Like, that is, I truly believe, one of the most important journeys we can take to really not only feel more fulfilled and abundant in our lives, but truly take back our power and live the lives that we desire. So that link is in the description. I hope to see you inside the challenge. It's going to be an absolute transformative, awakening experience together. See you there.